I'm doing really well. I was missing you, so I thought I'd stop in and say hello. I I've been thinking about how weird it is when it's a full moon and a waxing moon and we're moving into this time of what do you call it? Oh shit. I'm being blacked. Yeah, of giving it to God and like resting, meditating. And it feels like there's so much action going on. It's like go time. I figured it out because when we are resting, the spirit world is working very hard. So that's what that's about. Like we set our intentions and then the spirit world goes into action. There's a lot more action going on in the spirit world than in the 3D. 3D is kind of like slow motion. It's like the lowest vibration. It's slow motion. Slow motion, slow motion. Move it slow motion with me. Something like that. I got songs in my head today. I've been listening to music today, which is good. And I've been dancing. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. It just helps me to stay warm. Adds heat to the room, all that stuff. So I've been dancing for the sake of heat, really. But it's been helping me, obviously, in other ways. So that's cool. Hi, Andre. How are you? I hope you're good. You doing good? I miss you. Okay, so there's that. What else is going on here? Tanoa Downing is kicking ass. Look him up on Facebook, okay, y'all? Please. What else? Free David Thompson. Shizzle. Surrender. That's the word of the day. Surrender. We're surrendering our intentions to the universe. It's easy. It really is. It's simple. You just surrender your intentions to the universe and the spirit world takes hold. It's almost like, they say if you don't ask your ancestors for help or your angels, they can't help you. I think it's more along the lines that if you don't surrender to the powers that be, they can't get into this slow motion field. It creates resistance to universal energies when you don't surrender. It's genius, really. Everything just relates so closely. Everything's so tight-knit. If it doesn't make sense one way, it's just a matter of perception. If you look at it another way, it'll make sense. So what have I been doing? I've been cleaning. Cleaning's been fun. Dancing. Burning essential oils in my candles. That's been my new thing. I've got a bottle of frankincense. That I've been burning. I love frankincense. I don't know if it's because I was raised in a Catholic church, but it might be. I love the smell of it. It smells like peace. It smells like peace. And I love it. I love that peace train smell. Yeah. I wish I had another phone, honestly. I've been saying I don't need another phone, but maybe I do. I've been wishing I had another phone so that I can do dance videos. That's my favorite thing to do. And when I'm spending the day dancing, I'd like to be able to share that with you guys too. If you care to join me, it's fun. And right now it's important that we are staying in that party mode, the fun atmosphere that we're creating in the new world. And that we don't really dwell on the things of the past anymore. We just let it go so that it doesn't get into our new world agenda of freedom, peace, love, joy, happiness, anything that doesn't have anything to do with those things. It's best to just let it go at this point, I feel. As long as you've properly mourned, grieved, whatever you needed to do about those situations, just, I feel like it's time to just let it go. And not think about it anymore. There might be a time in the future that we need to think about those things again, but it doesn't matter. Right now, I really have this feeling that it's time to not think about people, places, and things that didn't serve us in the past. It's fine. We discerned them, we distinguished them, we extinguished them, and now we can just move on. We don't really have to dwell in those feelings anymore. They are non-existent, really. Yesterday, the past is non-existent in the present. And we really don't want to bring anything from the past into the future. So it's best to just not think about the past anymore in the current present. As long as you're not being triggered, don't think about that stuff. It really doesn't matter because it's just going to fall away. It's just going to cease to exist. So, that means you can't put focus on it. You can't pay attention to it. It has to not exist in your mind for it to not exist in the physical reality. So, I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I feel like I have dredged up everything I can think of that I might have needed to cry about. And I'm ready to just not think about that stuff anymore. Those people, places, and things that are unsavory and are not anything that I plan on bringing into my future new world. So that's my suggestion for all, is to go with that agenda so that we can clean up this mess. This is a mess that just needs to be forgotten about and let go for us to be able to move on and create something better, bigger and better, much better. These spells, these illusions and whatnot that have been cast over this Christmas full moon are already dissipating, and their power is almost nothing anyway. So Yeah, it's best to just let it go. Also, be very careful about, I don't know if it's is it still Mercury, is it still Mercury retrograde? Because those energies are coming in thick in my life. So, be careful about entertaining energies from your past that have already proven to be unsavory for your soul, for your mind, body, soul. Those characters are literally just tests of your discernment. I don't think anybody's going to fall into that trap. I think that we're all past that, if you want to know the truth. I don't even think I need to warn you. But I thought I'd mention it just in case. Just in case some of you all are still thinking about past flings, flames, past whatevers. Even family, friends. The people that have wronged you, it's best to keep them at an arm's length at this time. There's really no time for mixing energies and to re-sort them out again. We're just like, okay, everybody's staying in their own lane. Do your own thing. Let your friends, family, and ex-lovers, let them do their own things in their own lane to where they cannot get their tendrils, tendrils? I don't know. Anyways, to where they can't get their talons in you, okay? Because many are still succumbed by the darkness, and whether they make it out of here or not, there's nothing you can do about it, and you just don't want to be dragged into the fire at this time, because this is the end. So be really careful about who you're allowing close to you at this time, if anybody. Yeah. The enemy lines are still, have still been withdrawing. They're moving back. I heard the crows today. They're like way off in the distance. They're way off in the distance. So there's no real need to worry about them and what they're talking about, what they're planning, because they're at too much of an arm's length to get to you at this point. That's why I say be careful about getting too close. I wouldn't get in physical proximity, and I would keep any kind of communication to a minimum, because it's easy for them to affect your energy still with word spells, basically. Whether they know they're doing it or not, they do it. Which is why I don't recommend reading emails, texts, voice messages, like any of it, because it really can affect you. It sets you back. It's not that it's gonna like stop you, but it just sets you back. It's just a pain in the ass. It's not worth it. It's never been worth it, but it's definitely not worth it right now. At some time, those people, places, and things were worth the lessons that they provided, but we're not in a time of lessons right now. We're in a time of breaking free, regaining our freedom, our sovereign rights as human beings of God. Jesus loves you. He just said to tell you that. He's really proud of you. He thinks that a lot of you have made a lot of progress and quickly. And he's really impressed with your progress. And he just wants to commend you for that. And he loves you very much. He wants me to blow y'all kisses, but I'm gonna refrain. He's being cheeky. I don't know. He must be in a good mood. He's smiling. He's in a good mood. I guess things are going smoothly in Spirit Land. I told you they got a lot of things going behind the scenes while we're surrendering our will to God, to the universe, to love. Let's just say that, to love. Everybody's definition of God is so different that it's hard for me to connect with everybody on that. But God is love. That's what God is. I've always known that. Love is God and God is love. The Jedi Force is team love. And the Jedi Force is kicking ass right now, Jesus said. Monitor just said that. They're kicking ass. They're partying. They literally are. They're partying. They're like hollering and screaming and cheering and stuff. They're really happy about humans' development. Y'all are doing really good, I guess. This is crazy. Good for you. This is really good news. They're fucking happy. Holy heck. Yeah, there's a party going on in my spaceship that is above my head all the time. They pulled me up into their little space, their command center, and they're celebrating up there. They're super celebrating. I'm hearing about a tipping point. There's some kind of 3D matrix tipping point happening right now, or that just happened. I've been talking about this for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're talking about. What I've been talking about, because they always try to communicate with me in a way I can understand. And they're yelling, tipping point, it's the tipping point. And what I've been saying for months now is that the tipping point is when, right now we have the pyramid and it's like this with the point at the top. And all the people with the power are at the point, the tip, the 1%, and then everybody else is down here. The tipping point is when the pyramid flips over. And the people that at the top are the ones that have the power. The people, that's us. Not the billionaires. Okay, so basically the tipping point is where the billionaires lose their power and the humble and the meek gain the power. And it's literally through your mind. It all happens through your mind, body, soul. So it happens on an individual basis. And yeah, anyways, they're really excited about how many people have reached their tipping point. It's really exciting how many people have reached their tipping point. So, yay. Perhaps all the violence in the holidays just got people, sent people right over the edge. Sorry, that's not funny, but sometimes that's what it takes to wake up and realize that you hold the power. You have to take your power back, or they will destroy us. They will destroy you if you don't take your power. That's their intention. So the closer you get to seeing your destruction, your demise, the better chances of you rising into your power based out of sheerly out of self-protection. Because part of what is instilled in our DNA is a like sheer will to survive. We have that. The doom and gloom program has not been able to take away our sheer will to survive, at least not completely. And the more you see your own demise coming at you, the more likely you're going to rise into your power and protect yourself from the aggressors. Protect yourself from the lack of freedom, the abuse, all those things that come from the reptilian agenda. Let's just face it. The doom and gloom program. So yeah, it looks to me like Christmas might have been a real kicker for waking people up. And that's good news. That's really good news. More people have reached their tipping point. So many so that the command station is celebrating right now. They're popping bottles, they said. They're popping bottles. So, wow, that's good news, right? They don't pull me up into their center very often. I want to say that. I don't hang out up there very often. It's only when they're like majorly celebrating, and I've only been up there a few times. So this is like big that they're pulling me up there and showing me this celebration. It's big. Beyond that, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure we're going to see in the environment what I'm talking about here shortly. If you all don't already see it. I'm so secluded, I don't see what happens around me. Although I didn't tell you about a story that happened last night. Strangest thing. Okay, so I've told you about people following me. I've never had them so unabashedly follow me as they did last night. And this guy looked like a tweaker. You know, he looked like he was on drugs or something. And I was walking home and I sat down at a church. I don't know. I just kind of like the vibe of churches. Just the idea that people come there to try to find God is it makes them sacred. Regardless of the evils that end up going through them, they're still sacred because of the intentions put into them. Listen, so I'm sitting by this church and I'm like, I've got my headphones on, so I'm not really hearing anything. And I was looking at my phone actually. And I look up and there's somebody there all of a sudden. And I was like, whoa. And like I said, it looked like somebody that was, you know, like a street person, somebody who walked the street a lot, let's say, you know, who was probably looking for drugs, or he didn't look like he was selling them. He looked like he would be looking for them, okay? And so he kind of surprised me, and then, so I kind of went like this, and then he turned down the street right before he would have walked by me. He made a left-hand turn. And I'm like, okay. It seemed weird because it seemed abrupt, and I'm used to people following me. So I was just thinking it could possibly be one of those people, you know? So, but I'm not worried about it or anything. So I continue to do what I'm doing. Then next thing I see him, he's gone up around the block and come back up. So he's one street up from where I'm sitting. I'm sitting, basically, I'm sitting halfway through the block. And he turned up this way, came up and over, and then came back over here on the other half of the block over here. And I look up and I'm just like, okay. And then he crosses the street. The whole time he's looking at me. I'm like, yeah, okay. So at this time, I know he's obviously checking me out. For what reason, I don't know. I'm thinking it could be like robbery kind of vibe, because he just looks like a desperate drug addict. So I'm, at this point, I'm prepared. I'm watching him. I don't take my eyes off of him after that. And I'm preparing myself to battle him if he comes up to me. And he walks past. I'm like, okay, but at this time, I already know what's going on. So I continue to watch. And sure enough, he comes walking back again, back into my vision. And pretends like he's picking up something off the street. And then he goes back up to the street that I'm sitting on, turns right, and then starts running or jogging up the road. So that was weird. I don't know if he was like thinking maybe I'll try to rob her and then he chickened out, or I don't know. I don't even know if I'm in a bad neighborhood, to tell you the truth. I don't worry about things like that because I know I'm protected. But that was weird. That was a strange happening. I don't know if he was just a lost drug addict or if he was working for somebody. It was hard to say with that one. When they look more professional, I know they're working for somebody. But that guy, he didn't look professional at all. But he was definitely following me. So, yeah. So that was fun. I love my ability to not worry about anything. I never noticed I was like that, but I've always been like that. I never worry about my surroundings and where I am at. I know I'm fine. I just pay attention. I pay attention. And if people are obviously paying attention to me, I will make eye contact with them. I want them to understand I'm watching. Same with when I see people stalking my Facebook page. I want them to understand I'm watching. I know you're watching. I know who you are. I know what you're doing. I can even figure out what your plans are just by you being all your energy all up in my shit. So, there's that. But I am protected. I'm not worried about it in the least. And even if they did get to me in close combat range, I can protect myself, and I will. I will fight to the death any day. And I'm prepared to do so. So, I don't know. I guess I haven't always been that way, maybe. I don't know. I've just never been worried about it. Nobody's ever attacked me except for boyfriends. People that I let in my space. They're the ones that hit me. I've never been hit by a woman. Only a man. Women are smarter than that, probably. Much smarter. Because those men paid dearly for what they did to me. Whether they know that's what happened or not, that's what happened. If you're wondering what happened to your life, that's what happened. You should have never put your hands on me. Or your feet, for that matter. But, you know, there's always hope. There's always hope. Everybody can turn their life around after they pay the consequences of their actions, their karma. But whether they do or not is none of my business. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's none of my business. I've already been removed from the situation, and for good reason. Family, I can't tell you how many situations I've been removed from that I'm sure would have resulted in my murder. No doubt in my mind would have resulted in my murder if it had continued. But God's always been there for me. Monitor has always been there for me. To make sure that I knew when it was time to go. And I've always known when it was time to go. I've never had a problem going. It's the coming part that I had a problem with. There's a lot of people I should have never moved toward at all. It's weird. It's like I have the senses of a vulture, too. I see somebody that's like failing miserably, and I would gravitate towards that person to try to prevent them from drowning. And I don't know if that was for my own benefit, or I'm sure it was for my benefit, my lessons, but if it was even any kind of benefit to them, but it probably was. Especially the ones who decide to turn their lives around and repent and turn to God, all that stuff. Choose love over fear. And I honestly am very optimistic about it. Like, I really am. I've always been optimistic about people, which is half the reason that I've been in such really abusive situations, because I've been optimistic. You know, well, people change, things change. I don't know. I'm still optimistic, though. And it feels good because I don't have to be in a situation where my life is in danger, to be able to remain optimistic, you know? Like, I don't have to do that. I can be good, and that's fucking great. I appreciate that, Monroe. Thank you. Like, I'm so sick of not being good. Like, not being safe. I was always protected, but it was like I was protected in a very unsafe environment. So, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. Like, it's crazy. I'm by myself. I'm completely secluded, and I'm thrilled about it. I'm thrilled. I'm safe. I don't have to be in other people's darkness anymore. And I won't be. I won't be. I can't. I can't tolerate it anymore, if you want to know the truth. My senses cannot tolerate the bullshit anymore. I had a conversation with somebody I knew from a long time ago the other night, and I told him to fuck off like 3 or 4 times. I hung up on him, told him I cannot even listen to this shit, and hung up. Like, it was a crazy conversation. I don't have any tolerance for anything anymore. Like, nothing. Like, I don't hear any of it. It's all bullshit, and I don't give a shit. That's like my motto anymore. It's all bullshit, and I don't give a shit. Fuck you. I'm out of here. No offense. Really, no offense. But fuck that. Fuck all that nonsense. And I'm not willing to sift through nonsense to get through the gold nuggets that I'm sure are there. I know they're there. I can see them. I always have been able to. But there's too much nonsense wrapped up around those gold nuggets that it's just like, you got to deal with that shit on your own. That's none of my business. I dealt with my shit on my own. Everybody's got to deal with their own shit on their fucking own. I love you. I love everybody. I love y'all, you know, but hells no. Hells to the no. That would be like my death sentence, to walk towards anything that has threatened my life in the past. I mean, yeah, Monterey wouldn't let me do that. He just said, that's not happening. That's not happening. That's not happening. I'd never make it. I'm not meant to be mixing my energies with others at this time. Maybe never again. That's what it feels like. It feels like that. I don't know. When everybody gets their energy raised up, it'll probably be different. But right now, the only one that's on my level is fucking Andre. I only have one person on my level that I know of. He's the only one that's in my life. So, thank you for that, Andre. You're a fucking fine specimen. A fine specimen you are. I'm so blessed. I'm just so blessed. It's amazing. It's amazing how blessed I am. Like, to think that someone as beautiful as you even looks at me, let alone looks at me all day long. I love it. It's raining hard outside. I love it so much, though. I really do. Most of the time I'm not flattered, but when it's you, I get flattered. Once in a while you catch me getting flattered, because I'm just like, he's just so special. I just can't believe he's paying so much attention to me. You're so special. So would you say, Andre, when it rains, it's God changing the energies? Something like that. It's coming down good right now. I love it. You know what I used to say was, when it rained was God clearing away all the magic that's flying around. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's going on right now, because I could feel all that magic over the full moon. And shoots, we're still in that full moon energy at the tail end of it. And so God's bringing in some rain to wash all that nonsense away again. It's needed. It's crazy that people are still using that archaic stuff. It seems like medieval time shit now. It just seems so passe. Like, wow. People are still doing that. It's so passe. I mean, especially when it's not working on anybody that really matters anyway. All they're doing is driving all of our exes crazy right now. Poor things. I love the rain. I just love it. I used to love it. I've always loved the rain. And I used to love it because I was always sad. And sunny days made me feel out of place. Like, but if it's raining and storming out, it was just like, oh yes, like the weather is agreeing with me that life just fucking blows. And I don't feel that way anymore, like at all. But I still love the rain. I guess just because it's God, it's nature, and it's cleaning up this mess that's been made by us and our thoughts, our fears. It's cleaning that up so we can start fresh again. Just like wipe out all those fears and the doom and the gloom so you can start fresh with an optimistic outlook. And even more than optimistic, it's like you know things are going to be great. Things are going to be better than you expected. Not just you hope things work out. Like it's going to work out and it's going to be better than you ever expected. I know it is for me. I know anytime I'm patient, I am very justly rewarded because patience is not my thing. But the universe rewards me when I am patient. And I'm being very patient with the universe. Like, very patient, I think. Yeah. He says I'm being patient. I feel like I'm being patient. I'm trying. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job because I'm remaining peaceful, you know, and optimistic. Knowing that the future is beautiful. Knowing that right now is beautiful. Like right here and now is just gorgeous. Mother Earth is rewarding me with a downpour. Monterey is sitting right by my side, telling me all kinds of good news about everybody, all the humans out there and how they're doing. I just love it. So I guess I'm gonna stop now because I want to listen to music. I wish I could just play some music for you all with me, but whatever. It is going to materialize very soon because I am wishing for it. All right. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day. I will see you soon. I'll be back. You know me.